Okay, so here's the deal. I've always wanted to do a makeup video, like not for any particular reason. I'm not good at doing makeup really. I'm good at wigged eyeliner, but that's about it. And I'm currently procrastinating writing an essay. So I feel like this would be the perfect time. Big impediment is that I don't have any eyeshadow brushes, so I will cross that bridge when I come to it. But let's get started. I don't know if actually you can, I don't know if like you can hear me or not, because I have music playing in the background and I wasn't really willing to not listen to music, and I don't have headphones, so we'll find out. First thing I'm gonna do is moisturize my face. I have not washed it after. I don't have my beauty blender. I don't know where it went. I know I brought it with me, so I'm just gonna use my gross little fingers. I didn't want to keep using my expensive makeup, so I bought some like cheaper, what is this? Whatever this is. I can't find the brand, but yeah, I don't actually know what brand this is, but it's light ivory because I'm really white. Oh god, actually, now that I look in the mirror, it's just like not blending out very well. Hold up. I'm just gonna do some very unprofessional, just like rubbing. Okay, so foundation on. What I'm gonna do now, I recently saw this thing on like how to contour for your right face shape. I have a very round face. I saw it because normally what I've been doing is like, I've been contouring, you know, like to really highlight this part. But the video that I saw said not to. Actually like cut this part kind of off. I don't know, you'll see it when I get to the, I'm gonna go like a little bit down. Okay, I'm gonna whoop, whoop. When I look at my face too long, I'm convinced myself that I have jowls. So I'm just gonna cover that up. I would normally actually contour the bottom here. I like to give myself a little butt chin. Okay, my nails look a little bit dirty, but it's just because I dyed my hair recently and didn't wear gloves. So there's like residual dye underneath my fingernails. I promise I'm not gross. I mean, I am gross, but you know, not that gross. So much more inefficient without a beauty blender. Okay. Doesn't look bad so far. Oh wait, you know what? I forgot my forehead. I dropped it. Okay, it's not bad. I'm gonna do a little bit on my nose. So I have been told that I have an odd nose. Apparently when I was born, my mom thought I had 4 nostrils. But besides that, I've just been told I generally have like an odd looking nose, which I don't know if that was like a neg or something. But I do feel like it might be a little bit odd because I find it quite hard to figure out what the right contour is. I don't know. What I do is contour the sides, but not as much the top. Good little line. Oh, that's a little low. We'll see how that goes. Okay. I'm gonna put too much. Let's see. Okay, so at least I have my face brushes. This would be really hard with just my hands. I can tell you what. I'll try to be productive while I do this. I'm gonna tell you about what the essay that I'm writing. Okay, so for context, I am a master's student at Oxford. Degree is Modern Middle East Studies. Oh, this is not going well. Okay, anyway, yeah. Modern Middle Eastern Studies. The class I took this semester was Politics of the Maghreb, which is North Africa. Mainly focusing on Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria. So this is my term essay. I have to write to prove that I know that I was paying attention in my tutorial, I guess. I have to compare the nature of the challenges posed by the Islamist movement in the Maghreb versus the Berber challenge. Berbers are the indigenous group, the indigenous people of North Africa. What do I have to do here? Is that, again, like way too much? This, like, I have to put all my brain power doing this. I don't know. Berbers. The appropriate term should actually be Amazigh. Berber is kind of derogatory. It's barbaric, supposedly. I've heard people contest that, but whatever. So, the Amazigh people are the indigenous people of North Africa. Morocco to Mali to Libya, Algeria. Not really as much in Tunisia, but they're still there. Right, so the challenges posed by Islamist movements and Berber movements, Amazigh movements, to the regimes in the Maghreb. And they're really interesting. They're actually, like, there's some similarities between them. Like, what's interesting about them is that both are able to mobilize like a large group of people, kind of at like a grassroots level, and like in a way that other political parties and like other groups kind of struggle to in the Maghreb. And what's interesting, oh god, this looks horrible. Oh my god, that looks horrible. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a lot of fixing on this. What's interesting, okay, so most people, especially in the West, the way that they view Islamists is kind of like a ooh, scary, like hyper-religious Muslims, Sharia, but it's not really like, it's a mistake to view it as like a homogenous group or really like a monolithic movement. Like, and you know what's also interesting about Islamist movements is that in the 60s, Middle Eastern countries started to gain their independence. But it was interesting, like directly after independence, you see these countries kind of try out different ideologies, basically. I don't know, a lot of countries like struggle to find what works for them, while they're still kind of recovering from the effects of colonialism. And like, you know, if a corrupt government shares like a certain ideology, that ideology loses credibility. And that kind of comes along with like the, you know, after these countries try, obviously Western capitalist systems didn't really work for them. And then when they tried socialism, it didn't really work for them. They tried Arab nationalism, that didn't really work for them. And so the conclusion that a lot of people reach is that, well, all of these are like foreign ideas. Like, none of these are from the Middle East. Why don't we just try something that that we made, that fits our society? So, well, that would be Islam. I mean, there was an Islamic empire. And it really brought the Middle East, you know, the pinnacle of civilization. You can thank it's called the Islamic Golden Era for algebra and like modern medicine. Anyway, people are like, hey, we were pretty good when we had that as our like primary thing, so like why don't we just try that again? And you know, a lot of people are for it after, like, especially like in the 70s. There's like there is a lot of economic hardship, the international price of oil falls dramatically, and like that really affects places like Algeria, whose main export is oil and gas. I think it's like 90% of their GDP or something. Anyway, and then so on top of that, kind of being religious it lends you this certain legitimacy. You're just like, oh, this person is like, you know, like they're a moral person. They like guide themselves on the teachings of Islam. Like, you know, you trust like a monk, right? So that gives them a little bit more legitimacy than you have, like, than these like corrupt regimes that are in power. And on top of that, they're really good at mobilizing people at like a grassroots level. So for countries that are like, you know, for countries like Algeria, who only have a one party, they have one ruling party, the FLN, they, you know, this is really, even when they open into a multi-party system, I'm distracted by just telling you what this is about. Yeah, countries that have like, okay, actually, I really need, hold on. Okay, so this is my, this is my final look. I really didn't have to do my forehead because I have bangs, but that's okay. Okay, actually, I realized that I didn't do my lips. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm done. Okay, so anyway, if you're interested, my thesis. Actually, I can't really talk while I'm doing this. I'll try to. But there's a group of Amazigh people in a specific region of Algeria called Kabyle. They're referred to, Kabylia, and people are referred to as, the Berber people are referred to as Kabyles. What's really interesting about them is that they've been this kind of consistent challenger to the Algerian regime. It was a Berber awakening, like a Berber cultural movement that started in the, I think, like 80s, kind of more 70s, and it came out of Kabylia. So, but like they've been like the catalyst for, you know, a couple different, you know, like protests in Algeria. Like the Kabyles are always the first to protest, and then once they start protesting, everyone's like, hey, you're right, good point, let's fucking go. Anyway, so right now in Algeria, there's a mass protest movement going on called the Harak. Started in Kabylia. And it's really interesting because it's like a straight up like mass movement, like all different parts of society, all kind of converging on this like main issue of just like the Algerian state. And the word that they use to describe their treatment by the Algerian state is hogra, which is kind of like contempt, just basically like being treated with contempt, like they feel like they've just been disrespected by the Algerian regime. And what's really like the movement has been going on for more than a year now, I think, and it's been completely nonviolent, which is like very interesting. Which is like so many people, so many different groups in society protesting. Okay, how does this look?